Midnight in the Garden of Eatin. Written and illustrated by Pudding Head. When the clock strikes midnight and your stomach starts to rumble, it's hard to ignore your hunger. It's hard not to grumble. My advice is to stay in bed. Ignore those hunger pangs. The Garden of Eatin at midnight? It's a place filled with dangerous fangs. Things just aren't the same in the moonlight. Night creatures get a wild look in their eyes. You are better off under your covers. You can eat when you see the sunrise. My friend lived by the ocean, and he awoke to the sound of the sea. He didn't know it was midnight. All he knew is he was hungry. He walked out through the Garden of Eatin and headed down onto the beach. He could see so many fishies just within his reach. He thought he'd have a midnight snack. He thought he'd eat any fish he wished. He forgot that it was midnight, and he became the dish. Midnight in the Garden of Eatin is a very dangerous place. I said this to my buddy, but he just laughed right in my face. Please, please, I begged him. Please listen to my words. But when the clock struck midnight, he began to munch on birds. Chicken tastes great at midnight, I think he tried to say. He found out that mama chickens don't have time to play. Another pal of mine didn't believe me that the Garden of Eatin at midnight is a very dangerous place. I only snack on veggies, he said, never anything with a face. He strolled into the garden and he began to munch on seeds. The flowers became hostile. His feet tangled up in weeds. He tried to move but couldn't. The clock struck the midnight hour. I should have listened to Pud, he yelled, as the flowers began to devour. My other little buddy loved his beef. He didn't care that it was midnight. He just wanted some meat to eat. He started munching on a cow leg, the biggest one that he could find. He was never heard from after the cow sat down. He was squished by her large behind. Another friend of mine thought he'd be safe if he had a knife and fork. So when the clock struck midnight, he set out to eat some pork. Why will no one listen? Pudding Head would never lie. When the moon is full in the Garden of Eatin, the regular rules just don't apply. I'd like to think he's out there eating pigs and licking his lips with a smack. But the clock struck midnight a long time ago, and I'm afraid he became the snack. So when the clock strikes midnight and your stomach starts to growl, ignore the late night cravings. Forget that tummy pain. Remember the words of your buddy who has a pudding for a brain. Don't go into the Garden of Eatin for that late night snack. Midnight in the Garden of Eatin is dangerous, and you might not make it back.